everyone, I'm Belle. This is my first TF2 video and my first commentary video. I'm not a really good speaker, so sorry if my voice sounds a bit weird. But I guess if you're willing to watch this video, you'd be willing to bear with my voice. TF2's 2 is a classic video game that millions of people love, including me. Ever since its first release in 2007, TF2's player count has always been pretty high. And even now, it still has a significant player base. I'll admit that I'm not a veteran in this game, as I only started playing TF2 in early February this year. And I kinda regret not playing this game when it still had a lot of major updates. In the past, Valve had released tons of exciting updates, with the latest one being Scream Fortress X. But wait, you say, what about the recent Christmas update? Oh yeah, the new Christmas update had just come out a few days ago. It's just some bug fixes and a cosmetic rate. But hey, new cosmetics! And you also get a stuffed stocking as a gift. That's, cool I guess. Unfortunately, there are no warpanes, no weapon changes, no taunts, no new comics, and no heavy update. I wouldn't even call this a major update. Heck, even the official TF2 wiki doesn't acknowledge it as one compared to the previous Christmas updates. Oh my god, what is Valve doing? It's been so long since they gave us a good update. Do they even care about TF2 anymore? Why is Lord K even doing this to us? When on earth are we gonna get another major update? Don't worry, my friend. I'll answer that last question for you. Probably in 333 years. Multiplied by 2. You may think that I'm upset based on what I've said. Am I disappointed? Absolutely. Just as everyone else. It would have been nice if the developers added more to this update than just a few cosmetics and patches. After all, it's the season of giving. It doesn't hurt to be a bit more generous. But am I upset? Not really. To be honest, I'm not shocked at all. I'm not even angry. In fact, I expected this to happen. A lot of people are complaining that Valve doesn't pay much attention to TF2 anymore, or any of their older game titles. Especially with Christmas 2018, an increasing number of fans are beginning to lose hope and are worried that our beloved game will eventually die. It doesn't help that Valve right now is more obsessed with the infamous card game Artifact. I mean, it makes logical sense, right? It's very obvious that a scrub card game is more important than their baby, which has made them so much money for the past 11 years and has a huge fan base in this day and age. However, I need you guys to hear me out. I know that a lot of you are frustrated that TF2 is lacking of new content. Me too, I don't blame you. Christmas 2018 was half-assed. But we have to remember that TF2 is a pretty old game. As much as I hate to admit it, it makes logical sense. I'm not being sarcastic this time. That Valve will put their focus on newer games. From a business perspective, game companies will often move on and develop new games and software rather than stick with one thing forever. For Valve's case, it would be VR, Source 2, and Artifact. Even though Artifact is the last game I would call innovative, I understand that the game developers are more willing to work on unfinished products. As we all know, TF2 is already a solid game that has received a lot of content throughout the years. TF2 is already highly successful and has a lot of loyal fans. While I definitely would rather TF2 to receive more updates, I also get that in Valve's situation, it's more profitable to divert most of their attention to new games, make more content, polish them, and advertise them. So more people will be inclined to buy these games and become avid players. Theoretically, this will increase Valve's economy, or to be specific, make even more money than they already have. Another reason I can think of as to why TF2 isn't getting many updates is most likely the fact that there aren't many developers working on TF2. If I'm not mistaken, there are only 16 people working on the game. And based on GermanPeter's video, how many people are working on the game, and who, there are only 4 programmers. That's not a lot, is it? I'm not an expert in coding, but 4 programmers trying to code a whole update every single month would be a bit of a struggle, wouldn't you agree? Not to mention that there are a lot of bugs in the game. The devs have to fix those bugs and glitches first before adding new items and other content, as it will probably make the game even more broken. So I guess that the constant patches are justified. But I don't know. Maybe 16 people are enough, and this is just an excuse to get away with sheer laziness. Regardless, compare that to new games like Overwatch, which was initially comprised of 100 developers, and I'm pretty sure that the number has increased by now. That's why Overwatch receives more content and updates. And even that, players still experience bugs, old and new, and unbalanced heroes. Speaking of Overwatch, at the end of the spectrum, Blizzard had just released Winter Wonderland 2018, which has winter-themed maps, character skins, emotes, and highlight intros. That's a lot compared to Christmas 2018. They've even released a Christmas short named Cookie Watch, which in my opinion is well made. What gives, Valve? Why can't you be more active like Blizzard? I'm quitting TF2 for Overwatch. Whoa there, partner. Let's not get hasty. As I said earlier, there are way less developers working on TF2 than Overwatch. There are enough people to work on writing, art, and animation on Overwatch, while there is barely enough to even code in TF2. Besides that, Overwatch is only 2 years old. It's a relatively new game. Of course it's going to get more attention. It still has a long way to go, and Blizzard wouldn't want Overwatch's full potential to be wasted. Whether in the near future, Blizzard will keep updating Overwatch, we have yet to see. To sum it up, Christmas 2018 was severely disappointing, but kinda expected. The problem now is that a lot of fans keep hyping up for a new update, and this is even encouraged by some YouTubers who feed the hype train by giving out speculation of a possibly incoming huge major exciting update of the year. The mentality of, since we got absolutely nothing this year, there ought to be a major update soon, is really dangerous, and I can imagine these 3 scenarios happening. 1. Fans are satisfied with the update that comes out. 2. Fans become upset when there is no update. 3. Fans become upset when an update doesn't live up to their expectations. The best thing we can do right now is simply enjoy TF2 as it is. The more we anticipate for an update, the higher the disappointment will be if there is no update. I'm not defending Valve for this problem. I'm not implying the things that I said earlier are excuses for them to neglect TF2. Absolutely not. Valve can be way better than this. But I want to give you guys a better insight about the current situation. I do think that a proper ending for TF2's story would be great. Since we have yet to wait for the final comic, I think that the final comic could wrap up everything and end it all. Nevertheless, I really hope that Valve will change their ways in the future. If not, I'll just have to accept it. Despite that, I'm very sure that TF2 will continue to live on for many years to come, as there are a lot of loyal players and new ones coming into the picture. That's all I have to say for now. I'm really sorry if my explanation was all over the place. I'm still trying to improve. Constructive criticism would be appreciated. I'm also sorry if I accidentally gave some wrong information. If I did, please correct it in the comments below. Goodbye, and see you next time.